What's going on, guys? It's Mr. DeLorean here with today a brand new video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today what I want to do is break down some new and old images we got for Spider-Man No Way Home and what they mean for the film and its plot. So first I wanted to start off with some new images, maybe ones that people haven't seen yet and everything that will go from new to old images. So in the first image and one of the two that we've just gotten recently from entertainment.com, we see Peter aka Spider-Man and MJ hopping off of a bridge, which we do get to see in the trailer when they're trying to escape the police and everything, which will obviously take place in the earlier in the film, right after Peter's identity is revealed on on the screens and everything, and everyone's starting to look at him and notice, holy shit, that's Peter Parker, that's his his identity. And Peter and MJ will obviously try to evade the police and everything, and that eventually I'm assuming Peter will turn himself in. But for now in this image, it looks like MJ and Peter are trying to escape the police and everything, which will be very interesting since, like I mentioned before, this is the first film where Peter is his identity is fully revealed and everything, since this has never happened in any other Spider-Man film ever, which I'm really excited to see, because like I said, that's never happened before. So, and this picture does look actually pretty funny and cool and everything, talking about MJ's face and everything, and like I said, the concept of them trying to evade and escape the police will be really cool. There's a shot in the trailer of Peter and MJ standing on the bridge and everything with police helicopters surrounding them, so I'm assuming after that whole situation goes down and everything, Peter will jump off the bridge. I'm not sure whether to further escape, or maybe that's when he'll turn himself in. I'm not 100% sure. Now in the next image, this is where it gets even a little bit more spicy. We see Peter and Doctor Strange standing on the balcony of what I can only assume is Doctor Strange's kind of mansion, apartment building. Now basically, when does this take place? Obviously this is around the time when Peter goes to ask Doctor Strange for help or anything to make sure everyone forget that he's Spider-Man, which obviously things do not go as planned, as Peter does try to mess around with the spell and everything and eventually breaks the multiverse. Now when does this take place? Does this take place before he breaks it or after? In my opinion, I think this takes place after he breaks the multiverse and everything and fucks up the spell. I say this because of a multitude of factors, and one factor is that when Peter originally goes to Doctor Strange, he's not in his Spider-Man outfit and everything, or costume, or uniform. He's just Peter Parker. He has no Spider-Man costume or uniform on or anything. He's just Peter Parker. But now all of a sudden, while he's with Doctor Strange, he's all of a sudden now in his Spider-Man uniform. So this does make me think this is after he breaks the multiverse and he goes onto the balcony to see what things have changed and everything after he screwed up the multiverse and everything and broke it all. And Doctor Strange is probably very disapproving of him and everything, looking at him what'd you do and all of this. Actually, now I think about it, I don't think this is on the balcony of Doctor Strange's thing. It looks like he's on top of a car, so maybe this is out front, which yet again furthers my theory that this is after his whole debacle of breaking the multiverse. And what's funny is there is this shot in the trailer of Peter and Doctor Strange kind of out in front of his mansion and apartment building, where Doctor Strange essentially does his magic and punches Peter out of his body and everything, and I guess I'm not actually exactly sure how to explain it since I haven't seen the Doctor Strange films, but basically where Doctor Strange punches Peter's soul out of his body and everything, out of his Spider-Man costume. So I'm assuming these two shots essentially take place in the exact same scene or moment and everything after Peter breaks the multiverse and everything, and essentially Doctor Strange sees Peter as a threat to possibly unleashing the Sinister Six. And I'm assuming this is around the time where he breaks the multiverse, he's running around it and everything, doing all this crazy shit, flying off buildings and flying down and up and all this crazy shit. And that's why I can only assume, since in these two shots Peter is in the same suit and everything, the similar suit and everything, not the iron suit, not the new black and gold suit that we've been seeing throughout trailers and marketing. So I can only assume that these take place around the same time. Make sure to correct me down below if I'm wrong or if you have a different theory, because I would like to hear some different theories on this. But this could be Peter looking down after he breaks the multiverse, just kind of he's scared, wondering what the hell he did and everything, trying to go on and see the differences. But those were all the kind of new images and everything. Let's dive into some old images, because they do have some possible connections to what the ending of this film could be, and the impacts of Peter's actions, and possibly the spell taking effect for everyone to forget who Spider-Man is. So this image right here is an image that we got a really long time ago. I think it was around the beginning of Spider-Man's kind of marketing and everything. This was one of the first images that they released of Ned, MJ, and Peter and everything, and Doctor Strange basically standing looking down at them from I think a flight of stairs. Now you would think that this is just a perfectly normal scene of Ned, MJ, and Peter all talking together, but I have a theory about this scene. I do think that this is taking place near the end of the film, when Ned and MJ's memories are completely erased of Peter Parker being Spider-Man and everything, because they do look all pretty natural and not worrisome at all and everything. And I'm assuming this is after the whole thing of Peter getting his memory, or everyone else getting their memories erased of Peter being Spider-Man or anything, and then they all see Doctor Strange and they're like, who's that? that. And they're wondering why Peter's around Doctor Strange and everything, and why he has relations with him and everything, even though, like, you know, he's not a superhero, even though he really is, but they don't know that because their memories were erased, you know, further in the movie. But that's just a theory, honestly. I think this could be them all talking about, like, you know, the plan to have Doctor Strange, like, you know, erase everyone's memories and everything, and, like, you know, Peter maybe asking for consent about that. But like I said, those are all just theories and everything. This could take place, you know, earlier in the film, maybe after, like, you know, Peter's friends, like, you know, memories are erased and everything. This might not be the end, and maybe he's just testing out, like, you know, whether they remember him or not as Spider-Man, which would be really cool, because I'm not 100% sure if, one, their memories are even gonna be erased, and since Peter screwed up the spell completely, and also when their memories will be erased. It could be, or when we see the effects of that and everything, whether it will be, like, you know, in the beginning or near, like, you know, when the spell originally happens. I think maybe between, like, the 30-minute mark of the movie, or if it is the really end of the movie and everything, where, like, you know, everyone forgets who he is and everything after he's defeated all the villains, and maybe we've seen some other Spider-Mans. Now, in the last and final image here, I think this is a fairly, like, you know, old image and everything that was released a little while back. But basically, what are my theories surrounding this image? What do I think is happening in this image right here? Well, this could be MJ, Ned, and Peter and everything going over, like, you know, the news and everything about what's being said about Peter and everything, Mysterio, and just, like, you know, Peter being, like, you know, Spider-Man in general, and the identity of Spider-Man being revealed. This could be Ned, MJ, and Peter and everything going over, like, you know, looking at the news and maybe doing some research on the villains of the film and everything, the Sinister Six, and, like, you know, looking at all of their backgrounds and everything, and trying to, like, you know, dig deep into their weaknesses or who they are. Yet again, this could be before or after, or maybe, like, you know, if their memories get erased and everything. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe this could be them, like, you know, looking at the computer and everything and reading that there are other Spider-Mans in their world, which would be really cool. But yet again, that's a very, like, you know, very maybe theory, but not confirmed. Or this could be them by the end of the film and everything, after their memories have been erased and everything, and this is them just, like, you know, reading about the story of all these villains defeated and everything, on all the 3 Spider-Mans maybe defeating the villains. But those are the theories I pretty much have for that image. But those were all the theories I had surrounding all these, like, you know, new and old images and everything, possibly, like, you know, Doctor Strange and Peter and everything, seeing the effects of, like, you know, breaking the multiverse and everything after that entire spell goes wrong, Peter's friends' memories being erased and everything. If that will happen, when it will happen in the film, maybe it will be in the beginning or maybe near the end, and possibly when the Sinister Six will be, like, you know, released and everything into the world and everything, and how Peter and Doctor Strange will react to that entire thing and the breaking of the multiverse and reality itself. I will make sure to link all these, like, you know, images and everything, the articles that they come from, down below in the description. Just go take a look at these images for yourselves, which I do highly recommend, because I do want to hear your theories about these images down below in the comments, so we can have a discussion and everything, because the movie is, I guess you could say, pretty far away and everything. Not really, but, you know, it's December that it comes out and everything, and it's only October, so it's still a ways away and everything, and we won't be getting a second trailer and anything for a little while now, even though I have heard that I think it's coming out in October or November, second trailer. And maybe, now take this with a massive grain of salt and everything, but just maybe that the 3 Spider-Men will show up in the final shot of the second trailer. Yet again, that is not confirmed to the slice and everything. Don't shoot the messenger, that is wrong. I'm just relaying what everyone is saying and everything, or the rumors that are going around. I think none of it's confirmed. But yeah, that was all for today. Anything, make sure to, like, you know, comment your theories down below on all these images and everything. Make sure you go check them out with, like, you know, the links down below in the description. And yeah, that was all for today. Anything, hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Anything, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more latest with Spider-Man No Way Home, such as trailer breakdowns and image breakdowns and more theory videos like this. And yeah, see you guys later, my amigos, and peace out.